Hello everyone and welcome to Day 7 of 30 Days of Godzilla. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 7th entry in this series, Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, or as it is also known as Ebirah Horror of the Deep, or Godzilla, Ebirah, Mothra, Big Duel in the South Seas, however you twist those names around. But the bottom line is, there's a lot of titles for this movie, but the one that I tend to go with is a title that I made up. I like to call this one Bondzilla, because the music in this film sounds a lot like the music from James Bond. So anyways, before we talk about the finished product, I wanted to give you a little history about this film. Originally this movie was supposed to star King Kong, but before production started, Toho changed Kong to Godzilla, and instead Kong would go on to star in this movie called King Kong Escapes. This explains why Godzilla is able to be revived by lightning, has a strange attraction to a female character, and also why he fused with Mothra a little bit, because in Ghidorah the three-headed monster they became allies, so it really doesn't make too much sense when you think about it. So yeah, I can see why people have issues with this movie. Now before I go on, I just wanted to say that I used to in fact own this movie on VHS, and when I finally picked up the DVD recently, I realized that the English dubbing was different from the VHS that I had owned. And I just want to come flat out and say that the international dubbing version for this movie is by far the worst dubbing in a Godzilla movie I have ever seen. It is excruciatingly painful to listen to, whereas the original Good Times VHS was pretty good. In fact, it's one of my favorite dubs that's been done. And hopefully with the new upcoming Blu-ray release, they include the Good Times VHS dub. Even if it's in a lower quality, I don't care. That's the way I associate this movie. Like, the sounds from this movie I associate is with that dub, the Good Times one. And this one, if you're one of those people who can't watch them like in the original Japanese language and you can't stand watching the movie subtitle and you prefer them dubbed, then I recommend tracking down that VHS. So with that being said, let's dive into the movie. So anyways, the plot of this movie goes like this. A guy named Rota and his two friends along with a bank robber steal a boat in order to look for his brother Yata, who was lost at sea. During their voyage to find Yata, the crew has extremely bad luck because the sea monster Ebirah or Ebirah appears to sink their ship. Now, Ebirah, or Ebirah, whatever you want to call him, I'll just stick to calling him Ebirah, is a very simple kaiju. He's not one of my favorites because he's just a simple crustacean. Not too much special with him, so yeah, he's just okay. So after Ebirah attacks their boat, the crew somehow survives and washes up on the shore of Devil's Island. On the DVD it says Lecce Island, so I don't really know exactly what the name of the island is. Just go with one of the two. Now normally it would be like, hooray, we're on land, but actually the crew finds out that they have even more bad luck because the island is also the base for an evil organization called the Red Bamboo. Again, they're okay bad guys, nothing too special about them. So in order to help with their evil organization, the Red Bamboo enslaves the natives of Infant Island, aka the home of Mothra and the Twin Fairies. Any chance at escaping the island is immediately thwarted by Ebirah. The only reason the Red Bamboo is able to travel the seas is because the natives are able to make a liquid that keeps the monster from attacking the boat. Probably because Ebirah thinks the liquid is butter and doesn't want to get eaten, so it does the smart thing and, you know, swims away whenever it sees, like, oh shit, butter, I don't want to become dinner. So our main heroes, while on the run from the Red Bamboo, encounter one of the natives of Infant Island, played by Kumi Mizuno. Now Kumi is arguably the most popular of the Toho actresses due to her both being attractive and having acted in a lot of the Toho kaiju films, including my personal favorite, War of the Gargantuas. So they're all on the run, they go and hide in this cave, and one of them looks down and sees Godzilla inside the cave. I honestly don't know what Godzilla is doing in this cave. Is this just like his place of zen when he's not destroying Japan or saving the planet? So they find Godzilla and wake him up by using lightning, and he goes and fights Ebirah in a battle in the sea. There's a part where they play volleyball with a rock, which is kind of funny, and it is interesting to watch the Godzilla fight underwater for the first time. Now Ebirah barely escapes, and then just completely out of nowhere, a fucking giant condor appears to attack Godzilla. This is the most random battle of all time, and it's pretty shitty too, because it's filmed so close that you can't make anything out. Godzilla, of course, kicks the bird's ass, because after all, he is Godzilla. So after he destroys that, a squadron of planes shows up that are the Red Bamboos. He destroys that, destroys the base some more, which triggers a self-destruction mechanism that is going to blow up the entire island. Yeah, just like all evil villains, there's a switch they have that blows up everything in case someone were to stumble onto their secret mission. I mean, I can understand having a self-destruction button, maybe for the compound, but the entire fucking island? That's a bit much, don't you think? So the slaves on the island get freed, the two brothers are reunited, and in the best part of the movie, Godzilla fights Ebirah for the second and final time, but only he does something really badass here, and he rips off both of Ebirah's claws, and Ebirah just swims away, and Godzilla's just like, here, lobster, 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 I'm gonna eat you. Pretty cool, but also pretty funny to see. Of course, since all the natives are now free after Godzilla just got done doing all the work, Mothra, who had been dormant the entire movie, just now finally wakes up and is like, well, time to steal the spotlight from Godzilla again. I mean, when you really think about it, Mothra really didn't need to be in this movie. Of course, she comes and picks up the slaves and takes them back to Infant Island, but I just feel like it's another attempt by the character of Mothra to suck up all the attention from Godzilla like she always tries to do. Again, I know this is a movie and that the people who made this put Mothra in there on purpose. However, as a fan, I just like to make up my own stories as to why I feel like Mothra was in this movie. Anyways, one thing I found funny about this is when Mothra shows up, and Godzilla just fucking blasts her with his atomic breath. I thought that was pretty funny. Even though this doesn't really make much sense, considering that in Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, they kind of became allies. But it could just mean that Godzilla was pissed off at Mothra, like, oh, hell no, you're not going to come in here, try and steal my spotlight again, you dumb moth son of a bitch, and I'm just going to blast you with my atomic breath. So anyways, the movie ends with Mothra taking away the people as Godzilla jumps off the island right as it explodes. I gotta admit, it's one of my favorite shots in the entire series. There's that moment where everybody seems concerned until they see Godzilla swimming away, and everybody cheers, the end. So that was Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster, and while some fans are kind of mixed about this one, I still kind of like it. I mean, I was a little more invested in the human storyline more than usual, and I do admit watching this one a lot as a little kid. I can understand people's complaints, but for me, personally, I enjoy this one a little more than Godzilla Raids Again and Invasion of the Astro Monster. Well, that about wraps up this entry for today. Be sure to come back tomorrow as we take a look at the next entry in the series, where things start to go a little bit south and a little bit kiddie. Now, with that being said, I thank you all for watching. We're almost a third of the way through 30 Days of Godzilla. It's been fun, and yeah, I'll see you soon.